For the last 9 years, Matthew Steer has been involved in, it used to be called Kokoda, Ken, I'm sure, not Kopkoda, but the Kopkoda is actually a play on words because this is an initiative that was originally started, I guess, with support for Matthew Steer by the Victorian Police, and basically it takes young people, young women, young men who are at risk, and it basically takes them on a trip to Kokoda. And they take them up there for about 10 days, and it might sound almost impossible, but they come back different people. They go up there, and there's many stories about their misbehaviour on the way to New Guinea, and they come back and they've got direction in life. They've got many of them go into careers. These statistics that the Victorian Police collect about what happens to these young people after they've spent 10 days in Kokoda is just extraordinary. And Matthew Steer's been very proud to be a major sponsor of this cause for 9 years this year, and the 10th anniversary next year. It just started off as a conversation between a couple of guys over a cup of coffee, as many good ideas start. Matthew Steer sends a member of staff every year. We sponsor someone to go every year. I should just say, I mentioned before that these kids are at risk. I think Nigel Howard from the Victorian Police, who was, I think, the local branch officer when this first started, the honest fact is these are kids that most people have given up on. For many of these kids, this is their last chance, and so you do have an opportunity. We all, I belong to a generation that grew up where there were a lot of institutions in society. Things like youth clubs and Boy Scouts and Girl Guides and things like that have all sort of disappeared. School used to be much more part of a community institution. So a lot of the institutions that used to keep young people on the straight and narrow, I guess, have disappeared. And something like this trip gives us a chance, I guess, to recreate that. The last thing I'd say is it's interesting when you talk to business people who go, and I think if anyone's interested in finding out more about that, they can probably have a chat to Ken. They tell you about sitting around the campfire, and you hear these stories about these kids. And some of them have lived in refugee camps, travelled to Australia in open boats, have lost parents or their parents have disappeared, live in houses that are characterised by drunkenness and family violence. And this guy was telling me, I sort of sat there thinking, well, I went to the local primary school, I went to the local high school, I married a local girl, I got a job in a local company, and now I'm bringing up my kids in the same community that I grew up in. And he said, so he told his story. He said, I was a bit embarrassed about it because it wasn't anything special about it. And he said he had kids asking questions all night because they didn't know anyone who'd had a life like that. They didn't know anyone who'd just had a normal life where, you're surrounded by family and friends where people love each other. And this kid said, I've never known a family where people love each other. You think, what a terrible thing that is for young people to have to deal with. Anyway, so if anyone wants to get involved in Kokoda, as I say, as a firm, we've been proudly involved in it for 9 years, and it's made a big difference to a lot of people's lives.